some people, shalom, shalom. Today I'm giving the highest glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders, apostles, a great millstone, taught us the truth. And, shalom, peace and blessings to all y'all brothers who push the word in the four corners of the earth, man. Shalom. Today I'm going to be going into a lesson, man, about the tribe of Zebulon. There's so much to cover, man. But, Lord willing, I'm just going to go into some basic stuff, man. And, bring out a few details or whatever in history. And y'all can put two and two together, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to the etymology of the words and things of that nature, all right? So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the scriptures and let's get it popping. All right, so the tribe of Zebulon, man. Let's kind of figure this out here. And let's go straight to the name, okay, and what it is. Let's get Genesis 30 and 20. It says, and Leah said, the Heavenly Father hath endued me, it says, with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulon. And then this is Genesis 49 and 13. This is a prophecy in the scriptures. It says, Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Okay, so the haven of ships is clearly the Panama Canal, you know what I'm saying, because that's a huge haven right there, and that's where a lot of wars were taking place, namely World War I as well. They were involved in World War I, and also, the Panamanians and the Guatemalans and Honduras, they were all fighting in the Spanish, or rather fighting in the military, because they were experts at war, because they are experts, man, and that's pretty clear, by the military ranking and things of that nature, and the experts that they recruited. Some of them were Marines, some of them were Marine Corps. Let's get the history on that in general. Okay, we're gonna go about war and their rankings in 1 second. Let's keep with the scriptures. All right, so let me see here where. Okay, this is 1 Chronicles chapter 12 and 33. It says, of Zebulon, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. Okay, so they was dedicated to the mission, man. These people were straight up warriors, all right? And they're related to the Mayans, man. You know what I'm saying? The Mayan culture and all that other stuff, man. That's them, man. That's the tribe of Zebulon, man. Tribe of Zebulon. And a lot of them went into Mexico as well, fleeing from the British and those settlers that came over there in the Spanish, because the Spanish came down into Honduras and over into Panama, man, trying to get this money, because that's what they were doing. They were taking slaves and introducing Roman Catholicism to them. And, it's a haven of ships. That's exactly where, a lot of people from Puerto Rico and Cuba were going in to work at the Panama Canal, because that was a way of making money, because once the canal came in, that was a way of getting money, So let's get it. There's an article by Julio. Matter of fact, no, this is from this is a writer. Okay, there's a lot of them here. All right, it looks like there's many writers here, but this is an article, everyculture.com, where it's basically just breaking down the cuisine, the health issues, and things of that nature, and traditions, and all of that stuff. So let's check settlement. It says most Panamanian immigrants live in New England, okay, or on the Gulf Coast or Pacific Coast, or in the Middle Atlantic, Great Lake areas. Okay, and of course they're going to be on the Gulf Coast, because it's right there. It's very, very close by. There's a lot of them in San Francisco and things of that nature. You'll see a lot of people from Panama over there, Panamanians, the tribe of Zebulon. Okay, let's see what else that we can find out. Let's look at some, there's the canal, definitely that. Let's check this now. All right, when they first came, let's get some history on this. So it says, Panama was the native name of the village of the Pacific coast of the Gulf of Isthmus of Panama before its discovery by the Spanish It says Panama was inhabited by a large number of Amerindians, which is bullshit. They were actually Israelites. Okay, the tribe of Zebulon. Okay, the Zebulonites. It says depending on the area, fish, birds, and sea turtles, and on starchy root crops for food. Okay, which really we know that of course they were relying on fish because it was a haven of ships. That's where they were. Okay, that's where all the ships passed through, man. Right there through the Panama Canal. Okay, it says the country's name, which means land of plenty fish. Okay, you see the connection. May also come from the Kuna words Panamai, or far away, a reply to Spaniards who wondered where to find gold. Okay, the name Panama is also believed to be a Guarani Indian word meaning a butterfly, and also signifying a mudfish, perhaps because the flaps of the mudfish resembled the wings of a butterfly. So it says, okay, so yeah, so since the Renaissance period, this is when these devils came in. Okay, and really the people of Zebulon, which is the so-called Guatemalans, the Hondurans, okay, you people from Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. Okay, all those, man, because they're all right on top of one another. You know, I'm trying to show you a picture if I can. If I get a little picture pulled up. Okay, I just had one. I just literally had it. All right. And I'll keep going with scriptures, you know. Okay, and this is Deuteronomy 33 and 18. It says, and of Zebulon he said, rejoice, Zebulon, and by going out in Issachar in thy tents. So this is part of their culture, you know. They shall call the people unto the mountains. It says, there they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck the abundance of the seas and treasures hid in the sand. So we already know that, you know, Mexico, all right, and a lot of the Zebulonites, you know, from Honduras, Nicaragua, and also Costa Rica, you know, when those settlers came in, when those fucking Roman Catholic devils came in and converted about, I think it's 93% of them, they converted 93% of these people to Roman Catholicism, man. And that's why the whole culture there speaks Spanish, because they were Spaniard settlers that came over there and just took over everything and went to war with them. You know, there's a lot of them that fought back. You know, there was about roughly 1 million people, as they say, already in Panama when the Spaniards came. So how you gonna discover a land where 1 million people are already at? You didn't discover that land, white man. Okay, there was already 1 million people in the land of Panama when you arrived over there in around 1519, man. So how did you discover a land where 1 million people are? What's wrong with you? You know, how do you figure that's righteous, man? You know, that's not righteousness, man. So the so-called white man is not the devil, man. He's not the devil. You know, he just walks right in, just, hey, what's going on, man? This is my land now, you know. So it says, and the treasures hid in the sand. So yeah, there was many things, you know, especially with the Mayans and all that stuff. We go into the Mayan culture. You know, there's just so much to cover with this. It's crazy. You know, I'm just going to do like a quick thing about it, okay? Okay. I'm going to just show you how it's a haven of ships. You know, they're dwelling at the sea and everything like that. You can clearly see what this is here. Hopefully y'all can check this out and see. All right. So this here, all right, is Honduras and Nicaragua. And I'm just going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. So you can see Costa Rica and Panama as well. And this is a haven of ships, man. As you can see, you know. That's a haven of ships right here. All right, this is Panama, and Cuba's right up here in Jamaica. All right, but this is where the ships will be coming through, man, right through here. Okay, so they be traveling from all over from here, and they got to go through here to get through, because there's no other place to go. You can't go over here. It has to be through this way. Okay, so that's why they're a haven of ships, man. So you got Honduras, Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and all of them, all right, in Guatemala, Salakia. You know, but primarily, Panama was very, very prominent in the gold rush. You know, because they was taking these things and taking gold and moving it through there, man. Okay, well, let's go back to the history. All right, it says this is from the article talking about the countries and everything, and really primarily Panama. It says by 1519, Spanish settlements had been established, and the king's appointed governor, Pedro Arias de Avila, had settled in the village of Panama. Under his rule, Balboa's Indian allies were killed, and the other Indians were enslaved. So there were slaves going on, man. This is the slavery was going on. It's wicked as hell. Many fled to the jungle or to the swampland and isolated islands of the northeast coast. Okay, so that's proven that they are also going to the northeast coast, which is exactly located what I was talking about. Okay, where's the northeast coast? Okay, so if they came from Panama, they would go from here to the northeast coast, upwards of Nicaragua, Honduras, and Guatemala. That's the northeast coast right here. And then here is Mexico. Okay, round about Mexico City and all that good stuff. Mexico City's right there. So the northeast coast is right here, man. So they all cousins, man. Or rather, they're all brothers, man. They're all brothers. Because everybody that lives around there, that's where they came from. They went to the swampland, and no, the so-called white man wasn't following them into the swamp. They had to literally resort to just living out in the forest, man, because they got kicked out of the place where they dwelt, man. You know, so that's just crazy, man. The so-called white man is the devil, man. He's certainly the most demonic, wicked ass person in the world, man. You know. So from Panama, they went through Costa Rica, through Nicaragua, and then Honduras. All right, and El Salvador was right there in Guatemala, and that they're all on the northeast coast. And that's from history. You know, I'm just coming out with the facts of history, man. So that's what it is. So to the northeast coast, it says, a priest, Bartolome de las Casas, was outraged by the Indian enslavement and persuaded Spain's government to send African slaves in their stead. So just wicked as shit, man. I mean, although don't enslave them, enslave their brothers, man. Judah, you know, which is that's really who they were, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. By this time, many Indians had died from disease and mistreatment. Okay, because the so-called white man's a demon, man. It says, while those who escaped had become isolated in the forests and swamps. So not everybody went into slavery. It says the separation of Indian groups from Panamanians remains today. African slaves became so important that the British were given a contract to deliver 48,000 slaves a year for 30 years. Slave revolts moved the Spanish king to interrupt the delivery for a time. From the beginning, the narrowness of the island, from the land, inspired the idea of a canal. The Spanish, however, were disinclined to build one, wanting to keep rival fortune seekers away from the Pacific Ocean, because it's a haven of ships. Okay, they knew that was such a small little passageway, but it was the best passageway there, and that's why they wanted to build a canal, because they could get money and start trading and stuff. But they knew that other people were going to come to try to, get this money and take over the land. It says, so for 300 years, the only route was a muddy jungle road from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. Outsiders often attack. That's a haven of ships, man. All right, that's just like the scripture says. Outsiders often attacked. British forces captured a fortress on the Atlantic, Portobello, several times, and buccaneers troubled the area in the 1600s. The Scottish attempted to begin a colony and opened the land to trade in 1698, but failed due to disease and the resistant Spanish. Spain held on to the land, controlled its markets until 1740, then allowed Panamanians to trade with other countries. Panama, though seldom had freedom of self-rule, from 1718 to 1722, the Spanish government in Peru held authority over Panama. Spain's viceroy of Grenada, it says, who ruled Panama, Colombia, and Venezuela, assumed control in 1739. Okay? It says, when this government was abandoned in 1819, the viceroy moved to Panama and ruled there for 2 years. Although Spanish, okay, so basically, you know, there was a lot of rumble, basically, man, in the jungle. So these people was going on ham out there for power. They was fighting for power over there because Panama was very, very important, man. Very important. Because of the fact that that was a throughway, you know, and through all out war in history, man, major centers where, you know, people would be able to go through, that was very important to them. Like the Aegean Sea and the Greeks, okay, and the Rome over there in the port of Rome was very important. So to control that land right there was highly important and very customary for people who you know, were at war, and countries that were at war, to control the main center where ships would go out, because those ships, that would create a lot of income and money, man. Okay, so those haven of ships, which is Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and El Salvador, they're very important to the Spanish settlers that were being attacked, you know, and the British, and they were all fighting. They were all fighting for control of this area because that area was very, very important, man. All right. So yeah, furthermore, they went off to the northeastern coast, man, which is proving that they are all brothers right there. Okay, the northeastern coast, that just makes tons of sense, man. So Lord willing, you know, that was edifying. Let me see, I could break a little bit more down on this, but there's even bases, man, out there in Nicaragua and everything, man. You know, there was a civil war and everything. So yeah, you know, they were fighting, man. Those people are war veterans, basically, man. They're experts at war, and that's why a lot of them escaped. Because if they were really truly pushovers, you know, they wouldn't have escaped, man. They seen these people coming, they was like, yo, let's get the hell up out of here, you know, because they were fit for battle, man. So yeah, Shalom. I'll probably do part twos to a lot of these, but just to give you a real quick thing, quick history, quick scriptures, you know, a little bit of the map and everything, and I'll probably, Lord willing, go into a little bit more about the wars and things like that, because they were experts in war, and that's got to be brought out. Okay, so if it be the Lord's will, I'll do a part two. You know, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah.